Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ. So there's 17 hours left of the latest Townstar competition, and we're going to be looking at how well you can do with the right strategy even if you started 2 days after everybody else. So keep watching. Okay, and welcome to another video. Remember, if this is your first time visiting my channel and you want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, crypto investments and lots of other crypto related stuff, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to tag that notification bell so you're alerted to all my latest content as it comes online. Okay, so like I say, we've only got a few hours left into this latest Townstar competition, and if you remember 2 days ago when I did my last video, this is basically what my account looked like. I told you that basically I wasn't really looking to enter into this competition, and I just whipped up this little town to show you guys and to chat to you about, and to do that video. Anyway, this, as you can see, was we had 3 days left, but no, when it says 3 days there's always hours. So I think that might have been something like 3 days, 10 hours or 15 hours, something like that. And we were at 7,500 city points, and we had got $33,931 in the bank. And basically, after that, after I'd made my video, I didn't do anything. I woke up the next morning and I thought to myself, you know what? I think, I'm just going to try out a different strategy and see how we can get on just in these remaining days. And as I told you, I had been previously doing a bit of a collab and a passing of information back and forth with SManic86, or Sean Hancock as he's known. And Sean had started from day one with his strategy, which was very similar to my old strategy. And at that time, I checked out Sean, and he was at about 96,000 star points. And, so in 2 days, by the second day, he was getting very close to being at 100,000 star points. And I thought, that's a really good target. And so what I thought was that morning, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement this new strategy, and I'm going to try and see if I can catch Sean. And as you can see here, I only had 7,500 star points because, like I say, I hadn't done anything. So the next morning, this account was exactly the same. The placing at that time, where we were in the league table at that time, we were something like 1257 or 1260 or something like that. That was our position at that time when I decided, right, I'm going to try this new strategy and see if I can catch Sean. I think at that point Sean was around about 350, 400th place. So like I say, there was quite a difference between us in where we were in the league table, but obviously there was a considerable amount between us when it came to star points. Anyway, the next screen I'm going to show you is basically how we ended up and what we're at now. But before I get into the things I did right, the things I did wrong, things you guys should look out for to avoid, and things like that, that's going to help you in your Townstar adventure, as it were, I just want to point something out to you to make sure you are aware of this, because unfortunately this person, with only a few hours to go, someone that's very close to me on the map, decided to cheat and to basically slow me down, because clearly I was either gaining on them or I was past them and they couldn't catch me. Whatever it was, they decided to cheat, and I just think this needs to be pointed out. Obviously, if Townstar or Gala Games get this, I would and see this, I would personally say if this happens, then the connection the confirmation needs to be from both sides. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is what you can see. That is what my town looked like. This is what my town looks like now. And you see this little square up here? What this shows is a neighbor connection. So what that does for these guys that are in these teams, you can create a neighbor connection so he can send stuff to me that I might require and I can send stuff to him. But the problem is, because this connection can just be established from one side, what he's done, I'll tell you what he's done, and for anybody that knows Kel Vince, that's what his name is under his name. That is Kelvince. If anybody knows this person, tell him if he can't play without cheating, then don't play. Simple as that, okay? So basically what this person did is they established a neighborhood connection to me, and they sent 2 wheat to this silo and 1 wheat to this silo. Admittedly, what I should have done was had 6 silos just in case, but I didn't. I only had 5, which was the exact amount I needed for this strategy. And because he put 2 wheat in there, that couldn't get filled to the brim. And because he got 1 wheat in there, that couldn't get filled. So basically, my account for a while, thankfully not too long, was sat at 97 grapes, and I need 100 grapes to be sent on my freight boat. So basically, it was sat there for 97, and I couldn't quite understand what was going on, but I had previously seen, and I'd never experienced it before, so I didn't know what was going on, but I saw these various things falling from the sky. I saw some lumber, and then I saw some other bits, and he had sneakily put these wheat in there, stopping me selling my grapes and slowing my sort of rise through the ranks. And for me, it's just a crap thing to do, you know. And like I say, if Gala happened to get hold of this, all I would say is, when someone establishes a neighborhood connection, it needs to be accepted from the other side. If you can just do it, I mean, I could do that, but that's not what I'm going to do. I want to win fairly, and this person has decided to cheat. So like I say, if you suddenly start seeing items randomly just falling from the sky, that is what someone has done. And my advice, because when you double click on it, it says stop neighborhood connection, but it also says remove neighborhood connection. Just stop it. If you remove it, that person would probably be able to just re-establish that connection and mess you up even more. So just stop it and then leave it, and hopefully everything should go back to normal. But obviously my progress got slowed down massively because of this Kelvince cheating. So like I say, just watch out for that. Okay, so this is the strategy that we are using at the moment. I would show it you running, but unfortunately it's running on my other computer. But basically, you can see what is going on. So we've got a large amount of grapes. So that is basically what I've done. We've got a huge amount of grapes. They'll only give you 200 star points for every 10. But if you get up to the point where you are basically able to produce enough so you can get to 100 really quickly, then what you do is get yourself a freight boat, but do not get rid of your pier boat, because as I showed in the previous video, if you set up your auto sell correctly, as you can see on here and on the old one, we talked about the auto sell script, which is completely legal, and Gala Games are happy for you to use it. So, you know, don't if people start saying, oh well, you're cheating because you're using an auto sell script, obviously I can't say 100%, but I would say 99%. Most of these people that are doing very well at this game are using an auto sell script. So that is all I will say there. It's just when they do their videos, they remove it, so it doesn't look like they're using it, or they don't give away that they're using it. I'm happy to tell you I'm using it because it's in the rules and you are allowed to use it. And also as well, I want you guys to do well. So if you are interested in that auto sell script to help you do well in Townstar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description to the previous video which explains to you where to get the script and how to set it up. And if you go right the way through to the end of this video, that link will be there also, so you can just click straight on it. Also as well, what I'll do is I'll put a playlist of all my Townstar videos, which is not a lot, and you can go through them and pick up the other hints and tips that I give in those videos as well, and that playlist will be at the end of this video also. Okay, so let's look at this strategy, and we're going to go through, like I say, the things that I did right, the things I did wrong, the things that you should definitely do. So start off, what I would say is, if you're going to do any kind of farming whatsoever, do not pick a square next to mountains. Okay, so really, if you're going to use a iron mine strategy, that's where you want to be, next to the mountains. If you're farming, you do not want to be next to the mountains. And the reason for that, and as I've spoken in other videos, is that putting buildings next to crops or trees or whatever, putting buildings next to it slows down how things grow. So how do you think crops grow with a mountain right next to it? So basically, obviously, with this, you're always looking to optimize everything. So let's just, for example, this field here, this field at this point will grow and be ready to be picked in 7 minutes. It's about, yeah, I think it's about 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes or something like that. And that will show a green bar because that is optimal. But the problem with this is, because I looked at this row, this row, this row, and this row, and I believe even this row, so right up to here, all take 1 hour. So you think if they were all running optimal, how much faster I would be getting to that 100 grapes to send out on my freight boat. So it's only actually from this line here, and even this line here, and I believe this second line here, are still not actually optimal. They take I think they take about 20 minutes or something like that, 15-20 minutes, and then it's when you get to this point, so it's only actually from this point here to here, down here and over here, that are actually running at optimal. And that is basically because I am next to a mountain. But you can still see, like I say, when we first started this, and it only took me 1 day to get up to pretty much where I'm at now. We started at 7,500 star points. We are now at 300. Actually, I'm looking at my other screen, and we're actually at 388,900 star points, and we are in position we're in position 394, which, because of Kelvince, we'd actually dropped right down to nearly to over the 400 mark, but we're slowly climbing back up there, which is obviously what we want. Anyway, that is the progress. Even running this so under optimal strategy because of the mines, we have still jumped and moved up massively in those 2 days. And like I say, remember, it took me a day essentially to get this going, and then once we got it to this point, basically it just takes care of itself, which is as you want it to be. I mean, like I say, you can talk about the auto sell script, but we don't use, we're not using any other script, we're not using any NFTs, nothing like that. And essentially it's down to me or you that is running your town to get your strategy right. So that is where the hard work comes in. Once you've got your strategy right, obviously the auto sell does help a lot, but like I say, it's not designing your town for you. You've still got to get it running. And like I say, this is running massively under optimal. Okay, so that's my big advice. Like I say, with when you're growing crops, don't put them next to a mountain. So one thing I would definitely say that you should do, that is aim for two power stations and 2 refineries. Now, why is that? I'll tell you. And obviously you can see this power station is actually not even doing anything. It's asleep. Oh, excuse me. It's asleep. But there's still a massive advantage for having 2 power stations and 2 refineries. Now, what is the advantage of firstly having 2 refineries? One is that you can have one producing petroleum and the other one producing gas. And basically that means if you've got enough energy and plenty of water, they will just keep filling up that gasoline here. They'll just keep filling that up. And as I showed you in my previous video, what I did was I actually set my auto sell script to sell gasoline every time I hit 15. So it will sell 10 and leave 5. It actually leaves 4 because it uses 1 to send the 10, so it leaves 4. But if you've got this going as well as I have, it doesn't matter. You'll be back up to that 15 in no time. So you're not got any worries with that. You're not going to any worries with running out of gas. So obviously that is great, but that extra sale is adding money to the pot, but also adding more city points, which again helps you push up through that league. Now, obviously that is the advantage of having 2 refineries. Now, one disadvantage of having 2 refineries is that the gasoline refinery requires 6 energy to make gasoline. So your petroleum requires 2, which if you only have 1 power plant, that 2 is basically done for you because you have the 1 power plant. But the 6, you've still got to be making enough electricity to be getting that 6 into your warehouse quick enough for you to be making that gasoline. Now, if you bring in a second power plant, what that does is it takes your gasoline refinery from requiring 6 energy down to only requiring 1. So the great thing with that is then you build up huge amounts of electricity or energy. So you're never going to run out with that. But it also means that you can maybe, if you've got, say you happen to be producing tons and tons of wood, you've got loads and loads of wood. What you could possibly do again to just boost them city points again, you can maybe bring in your lumber mill producing lumber, because you can sell that again, put in a certain amount back into that pot, and that will again give you the same amount of star points that gasoline will. But your lumber mill will be producing lumber way faster than your gasoline. Your refinery will produce 15 gasoline. So what you can do is a similar thing. So you would set your lumber to sell 10 but to keep 5. So again, so you would always have that lumber sort of ready and waiting. So it would just constantly build on itself. So it would sell 10, keep 5, then sell another 10, and then keep 5, and then you've immediately got another 10 there. So you've only then got, for the third one, you've only got to actually build 5. But obviously, if you're going to do that, make sure that you are not running out of wood, because basically every single one of these fields requires 1 wood. If you've got all the pools like I've got, you don't need any water, but it will require 1 wood per field. So obviously you want to be producing that as quick as possible, and you don't want to be waiting for wood. So make sure, if you're going to implement the lumber mill to be selling as well, that you are producing enough wood to support the lumber mill and the fields. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing that I actually did wrong. So basically, this whole road, all this road, I actually got done and finished fairly quickly. It was done by yesterday afternoon, maybe even early, yesterday morning or something like that. I actually got all this done quite quickly and sorted. But yeah, I think it was like yesterday mid-afternoon or something like that. Now, the thing I did wrong was, you see where this tarmac area is? I only did that today. That's what I did wrong, because it's weird, because when you look at it, when you watch the vehicles, they don't seem to, from the gravel to the tarmac, pick up a whole lot. But it actually does seem to make quite a difference when it comes to how quick you're getting sort of the crops into their silos and getting the wood into the fields. It does really seem to speed that process up. Now, obviously, it's quite expensive. It means you've got to spend 10 grand for every square. But when you're kind of at this level, I've got like 60 million in the bank, it really doesn't make a difference. The only thing I would say is these here, this gravel road here, don't bother with, because what happens is, I didn't realize this, because I actually highlighted loads of this to be graveled, but what it does is essentially stops the use of that road, that area, until it is tarmacked. So because your tractors require a road, or to be by a road, or I guess a usable road, loads of my tractors suddenly stopped working, because I'd put this whole area to be tarmacked. So what I had to then do was get rid of it all, because obviously if you're waiting for your builders to get wood, because each one requires 3 wood to be tarmacked, it takes a long time. So that means you're out of commission and your tractors are not working for that time. So that is something that I did wrong. 2 things I did wrong. I waited too long to tarmac this road, because there is it seems like there is quite a bit of speed to be gained. But also I trying to tarmac this road, that was also a bad move for the reasons I've just said, because also it means that they can't access those silos, because those roads are not usable and things like that. So like I say, just your main route, just do your main route. Anything going towards your tractor sheds or anything like that, don't bother with. One piece of advice is I would say is, make sure that you get your overall layout sorted first, and obviously you're building and earning money and getting those grapes sent out. Do that and get all this done first before you start sort of tweaking it. Because obviously you want to be selling those grapes and gaining those city points as fast as possible. So if you've got, like, say you're getting some of it done and then you tweaking here and tweaking there, it's all time lost. Get the basic layout of your city and your fields and all that filled first before you start trying to tweak things. Like, for instance, you can see these are loggers, like they're, rather than the lumberjacks, they're the loggers, so they're the guys with the chainsaw. Those 3 were actually lumberjacks, and once I got everything established, I turned them one at a time, not all 3, because again, you don't want to be taking too much manpower away from collecting your wood, because again, that slows everything down. So one at a time. But I say I changed my lumberjacks into loggers for speed. These buildings here, and yeah, so these 4 buildings here, I added these relatively early, but these ones here, they were actually farmhouses, and I changed them from farmhouses to tractors, again, one at a time, so you're not losing too much time when it comes to collecting your grapes and taking the wood out to the field. So it's like I say, it's all very much of a balance. You're trying to keep everything flowing as best as you can, but at the same time you're trying to speed up the whole process as well. But the last thing you want to be doing is trying to move too fast, and therefore essentially then slowing it all down. And I think probably one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give to you is exactly what I've just said, is be patient. Don't rush it, because a lot of times, especially in the early stages, if you start rushing things, suddenly you'll find you're running out of money. And if you run out of money, especially if you're running very low on gas and you haven't got maybe enough to send or whatever, but if you're running out of money and all your workers go to sleep, then that you could be done. That could be your town over, and you would have to start right from scratch again. So like I say, that is probably one of the first and biggest pieces of advice I would give, is be patient. You know, in the early stages, get things going, and just for a while allow that cash to build up. So then you've got enough to do a few bits, and then, you know, allow it to build up again, then do a few more bits, and just do it that way. Don't try and rush it. I've done it myself and got very, very close to the point where I've had to walk away, but then I've you know, you have to sacrifice something. So say you've got windmills, you've got 3 windmills, everything's gone wrong, all your workers have gone to sleep. So okay, I'm gonna have to sell a windmill. That's going to give me $11,000. Because I've run out of money. That's going to give me $11,000, and then your workers will go back. But then you've only got 2 mills. So again, that slows everything down, and it's just this constant calculation in your head of sort of almost like a game of chess. It's a strategy to basically get to the outcome that you want as fast as possible, but at the same time not risking your town from. Basically, that is it. So yeah, and obviously if you are going to be doing the grape strategy, make sure you've got plenty of wood, as you can see here, because the thing is we clear all this area. I mean, you've got, what is it, 1, 2 natural trees. There might be one in the back there as well. So essentially there's only like 3 natural trees left on this whole board. So you've got to grow your own. And the great thing is if obviously you put these tree farms in optimal positions, they're going to grow every 20 seconds or something like that. Whereas a natural tree might take, even at optimal speed, might take 15 to 20 minutes. So like I say, tree farms are definitely the way to go anyway. So another quick tip for you as well. I know when you probably watching these other people do their videos, their instructional videos for Townstar, you'll see that they rotate their field to give you a nice view, just like I've done here, so it's nice and straight on and not at some weird angle. If you want to know how to do that and actually rotate the screen, it's dead simple. All you got to do is click the right mouse button, not the left one, not the one you would normally do to click for a command or to initiate something. The right mouse button, and then just move your mouse to the direction that you want the town to go, and it will just start spinning around uncontrollably, and then you'll just have to slow down. I do it all the time. I click on it and then it just starts whizzing around. And anyway, that is, if you want to know how to rotate your town so you can get it at the angle you want it, that is all you got to do. You just click the right mouse button and then move the arrow around, and you'll see that the whole thing will rotate. Okay, so here we are, and as you can see, this is my town actually running. This building here, that is another logger house, so that's the guy with the chainsaw. So I'm trying to change all of my lumberjacks currently into loggers. I know we've only got 16 hours left, but obviously at the end of the day, time is city points. So if we can get the more city points we can get, you know what we're looking for. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? So basically, obviously, the more city points we can get, the further up the leaderboard we can get, and see where we end up. I mean, so far, I'm still further up the leaderboard than I was when I in the last competition, when I spent the whole time basically trying to do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to, like I said, just rotate. So we right click the button, right click the mouse, and then you just rotate your your town, and that's it. Dead easy. Like I say, right click. You don't need to do anything else. No scripts required in that case. Dead simple. But for ages, I kept seeing people doing it, thinking, how are they doing that? I didn't understand. But yes, it's just right click on your mouse. Okay, so obviously, I guess we should wait for our grapes to be sent. We can check that out, being sent out on our freight boat. That's obviously our pier boat just there, and that's our freight boat. Remember, as you saw, that if you're sending anything by freight, you need to adjust your auto sell script to 100. If it's only selected set as the send minimum as 10, it's always going to go by your pier boat, or it'll go by your trade truck if you have a trade truck. But if you set it to 100, it will always get sent by your freight boat, and then you're all good. Like I say, the great thing is if you keep both, then you can send the small stuff. Like I say, if you set up your lumber or your gasoline to be sent when you reach 15, always hanging on to that 5, then that'll always go by your pier boat, and then it's always leaving your freight boat free to send your big goods, such as your grapes, every 100. Okay, so we've got 5 left. We only need 5 more to send out our grapes. Everybody's going to sleep because nothing's. Oh yeah, there's one over there that's just popped up. So we're looking for another. Oh, there's another one. So we're looking for another 3 to pop up, and then that will get sent. Also, I guess the big question is, which is what I started talking about at the beginning, is did I manage to catch up with S-Manic86 or Smanic86? Sean we'll send these grapes, and then we're going to go and check out the map and see how he's getting on, and see if me being 2 days behind him, using this strategy, was I able to catch up with him. And I guess we'll find out. So there's 2. We're getting very close. Here's the other one. You can see our many tractors going off. I do find it funny that if one field needs a log, all these tractors go. For me, I would have thought you would have been able to set. I don't know. Obviously, it's way beyond my capabilities of programming. But if there's one that needs it, then one tractor goes, and then that's all that goes. But it seems that everyone goes, and then once it's filled, they all come back. Okay, so we're getting them blue. Our grapes are blooming nicely there. We only need 3. We've got 4 fields available, 5 fields available. Okay, so we're going to be shipping out on our goods, and then we'll also have a quick look at where we are in the league, and then we'll go and check out where Sean is and how he's doing. Okay, so 1 minute 43. While that's going on, let's go and check the world map and see how Sean is doing at the moment. So I'm based in Anchorage, that's or near Anchorage. I believe this is Anchorage. Yeah, there's Anchorage in Canada, and that's my city just there, or my town. If we scroll over, I believe Sean is on the east coast of England, and he's very close to London, which he has a really good advantage because he is so close to a city. That's London right there. Because he's so close to a city, his delivery times, you saw my delivery times are like 2 minutes, his are like 7 seconds. So always try and get as close to a city as possible, because it makes a massive difference to, because obviously if his is every 7 seconds, you know, and mine's every 2 minutes, the amount of deliveries he could get sent out compared to my one is a big difference, which then obviously that helps you move up that leaderboard as well. Okay, so we're obviously going to be a little bit higher. Grapes is worth 2,000, so that would take us to 395. So at 395 we would be at about place 384 or something like that. We would be at, and if we click on Sean, who that is Sean right there. So in fact, actually, let's just wait 7 seconds so we get a confirmation of exactly where we're at. 2 seconds. 1. Okay, so yeah, 395, 380. If we click on that, okay, so we're 385, which is what I thought we would be at. And if we click on Sean, obviously we can't see where he is in the without searching for him in the league table, but we can see where he is with his city points. So if we click on him there, so Sean is at 275, 380. I'm at 395, 380. And remember, I basically started playing and I only had 7,500, I think it was, and at that time Sean had about 96,000 star points. So clearly my strategy, or the strategy of using grapes, is a very good one. It obviously is quick and gets you up through those league places pretty rapidly. Obviously as well, using the auto sell script does help with that also, but I know Sean is also using the auto sell script, so it's not like I'm doing something that he's not. Okay, so that's pretty much all the advice I can give you really when it comes to using this strategy. I hope it is helpful and useful for you. If you are interested in those videos I talked about, they will be on your screen shortly, so you can just get clicking and get watching. And if you can smash that like button, really supports my channel, which then helps me bring more content to you. So take care, have a great rest of your week, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.